Have you ever really tried to be certain about something? I mean, not just pretty sure, but 100% absolutely no doubt about it certain. Well, that very question became an obsession for the philosopher René Descartes. He went on this incredible intellectual quest to find just one thing, a single truth he could hold on to in a world that seemed full of doubt. So let's dive in and follow his journey. You see, Descartes wasn't interested in just patching up a few leaky beliefs here and there. He looked at everything he thought he knew and realized a lot of it was built on some seriously shaky ground. So what was his solution? Not renovation, complete demolition. He decided he needed to tear down his entire system of beliefs, just once, to see if he could find a single solid foundation to build everything back up on. So how in the world do you go about demolishing every single thing you believe? Well, Descartes came up with a very systematic plan. He called it the Method of Doubt. Now, his strategy here was kind of genius. He knew it would be impossible to check every single belief one by one. That would take forever. So he took a shortcut. He decided to go straight for the jugular, the very foundations of his knowledge. His thinking was, if he could find a reason to doubt the most basic principles, then everything built on top of them would just come crashing down on its own. Okay, so this is where things start to get really wild. We are about to follow Descartes right down the rabbit hole as he starts to systematically question reality itself. He does this in 3 stages, almost like climbing down a ladder, deeper and deeper into skepticism. First, he's going to question his senses. Then, he'll question whether he's even awake. And finally, he unleashes a thought experiment so powerful it could make you doubt that 2 + 3 = 5. First up, the senses. He starts with what seems totally obvious. He's thinking, I'm sitting here by the fire, how could I possibly doubt this? But then, the doubt starts to creep in. He remembers that his senses have tricked him before. Like how a stick in water looks bent, or a tower in the distance turns out to be a different shape up close. And here's the key. If they fooled him even once, can he ever really truly trust them completely? For Descartes, the answer has to be no. Okay, but what about things right here, right now? Surely he can't be wrong about sitting by the fire. And this is where Descartes drops a much bigger bomb, the dream argument. He thinks about all the times he's had dreams that felt just as real as this moment. I mean, have you ever had one of those? You wake up and for a second you're not sure what's real. He realizes there's no secret sign, no special feeling that proves with 100% certainty that he isn't dreaming right now. And if you thought that was intense, get ready for the final boss of doubt. This is the most extreme level. Descartes imagines, what if there's a supremely powerful, malicious demon, and this demon's entire job, its whole purpose, is to deceive him about everything? This demon could be creating a perfect simulation of reality, the sky, the earth, his own body. It could all be a trick. Even something as basic as 2 + 3 = 5 could just be an idea the demon planted in his head. And this isn't just a passing thought for him, he really commits to it. He resolves to actively live as if everything he sees and thinks is a carefully constructed lie, a trap set by this demon. At this point, he has truly hit rock bottom. Nothing is real. Nothing can be trusted. But it's right here at the lowest point of doubt and confusion that the breakthrough happens. After tearing absolutely everything down, he's finally ready to find the one single thing that cannot be demolished. He describes this feeling as being thrown into a deep whirlpool where he can't touch the bottom and he can't swim to the surface. It's just complete intellectual chaos. Everything he ever thought he knew has just dissolved into nothing. But it's inside this whirlpool that he finds an anchor. And this is it, the big aha moment. He realizes, wait a minute, even if this evil demon exists and it's putting all of its power into tricking me, there has to be a me for it to trick. You can't deceive something that doesn't exist. So the very act of being deceived, the very act of doubting, proves his own existence. I am, I exist. This simple statement has to be true every single time he thinks it. The evil demon can't take that away from him. This is it. This is the one solid, unmovable point he was searching for all along. The foundation is found. So he knows that he exists. But the next question is, what is he? He still can't say for sure that he has a body. That could be part of the demon's illusion. But the one thing he knows with absolute certainty is that he is thinking. So he concludes that at his very core, he is a thing that thinks. And for him, thinking covers all of it. Doubting, understanding, wanting, even imagining. All of it is proof that he exists as a mind. Okay, checkpoint. He's established that he exists as a thinking thing. But that brings up a new question. Which does he know more clearly? This I, this mind of his, or the physical world that's still kind of up in the air? To answer this, he uses a really famous thought experiment. So let's picture a simple piece of wax, maybe fresh from a honeycomb. He describes it using only his 5 senses. Okay, it has the taste of honey, the smell of flowers, it's hard, it's cold, it has a specific shape, and it makes a sound when you tap it. It seems like we know this wax perfectly well just through our senses, right? But then comes the crucial part. He takes that same piece of wax and he moves it close to a fire. And just look what happens. The taste, gone. The smell, vanished. It's not hard and cold anymore. Now it's liquid and hot. It's lost its shape. It doesn't make a sound. Literally every single property that our senses reported to us just a moment ago has completely changed or disappeared. So here's the big question. Is it still the same wax? Well, of course it is. We all know it is. No one thinks it suddenly became a different object. But if all of its sensory qualities are gone, how do we know that? Our senses are just telling us about all the changes. And here is the huge insight. Our knowledge, and it's the same wax, doesn't come from our eyes or our hands. It comes from our intellect. Our mind alone understands that the essence of wax is that it's a thing that's extended, flexible, and changeable, no matter what form our senses happen to perceive at any given moment. This was a massive shift in thinking. This leads him to a pretty powerful conclusion. We don't really see the wax or touch the wax in the way we think. We make a judgment about it with our minds. Our most certain knowledge, even of physical stuff, is an act of mental understanding, not just raw sensory input. And the final takeaway is just so powerful. Every time Descartes thinks about the wax, every time he analyzes it, what is he really doing? He's using his mind. The very act of investigating the outside world just keeps proving over and over the existence and certainty of his own mind. So he concludes that his own mind is known far more directly, more clearly, and more certainly than any physical object could ever be. And so Descartes' journey leaves us with a pretty mind-bending question to think about. If the thing you can know with the most certainty, more clearly than your own hands, your own body, or the world around you, is your own consciousness, then what does that say about who or what you really are?